Well, hello. How are we doing? And happy Sunday. I hope you're all wonderful and enjoying life and having a good time out there. Hello. So today I'm going to start with a bit of a, before we get into the writing tips, I'm going to start with a bit of a personal update. So I made quite a startling discovery this week. It turns out that I have dyscalculia. Now, for those who do not know what dyscalculia is, it's essentially dyslexia with numbers. Now, for many years, I work in finance. I work in finance. Yeah, the mind boggles. I've really struggled with my career for years and years, and it kind of all makes sense now. But essentially, I really have a problem with numbers. So that was quite an interesting revelation, and it's kind of like for years I've almost joked about it, saying, "Oh, I'm sure there's something not right with numbers there. I'm dyslexic with numbers or something like that." I never realised I actually was. I'm just like, oh gosh, So I was doing a task actually earlier on today involving numbers, just doing my writing. I was just playing around with word counts, and I just kept getting confused. I was just like, oh yeah. A friend actually said to me like 20 years ago that someone said to me, he said, I'm not being funny, but you just don't get it. But in the nicest way possible. I think there's something not right. Turns out he was not wrong. So yeah. So that's a bit of a personal update. I just wanted to kind of share that with you because it's been quite enlightening to me. I'm kind of taking refuge in my words as I do. Go with your strength, and just to say, for those that there are gifted in numbers, in some way, I'm kind of jealous because my life would be so much simpler. There we go. But no, but I'm very proud and happy to be a wordsmith and to love working with words. So I think I would say to that, play with your strength, folks. There we go. So yes, I do have a writing tip for you today, and that writing tip is: should you write in order? Now, what I mean by that is not the story of the characters. Like should you have different timelines within the story that you're writing? I'm talking about actually writing the story itself. Should you write the beginning first, or can you start at the end? Can you start in the middle? And with that, what I've done is I've been experimenting. As you will know from my previous videos, I've talked to you before that I keep experimenting with things. I can't remember what it was I told you. But anyway, so this time I've been experimenting again. I'm referring to Long Time Dead still. And I actually wrote the end of Long Time Dead on a train from Denmark to Hamburg, I believe. And I hadn't written the beginning. So actually, to tell a lie, I wrote the first paragraph, but that's it, literally a paragraph. So I wrote the very, very end. It was a big jumbled mess, of course, unedited. I was, as I like to say, puking on the page, and that's fine. But it was in me, and I wanted to get it out, and I enjoyed that. And I was a bit worried that have I somehow spoiled the magic, spoiled it because I've written this piece right at the end. And the answer to that is no, not at all. And I'm doing a research trip to go to some more places in the novel, and that has interrupted my process as well of staying in order because I'm going to the Netherlands, and the Netherlands was supposed to be next. I'm supposed to be writing in the Netherlands, but I'm not. I've skipped the Netherlands because I want to write something in situ, just because I like to do that, but also for the research. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do there, and I've got an idea of the story, but the places, etc. So I'm really looking forward to going there and living that and researching that and breathing the wonderful Dutch culture. But at the same time, I didn't want to I'm not going for a few weeks, so I didn't want to really kind of, stop writing. So that's been a big experiment for me, because previously I've always written in order and kind of behaved myself. There's been many times I've been chomping at the bit. I think, like I said the other week in the Tygoon, I might have written the last line, but that's the exception. Pretty sure. I often come up with the end. I know what's going to happen at the end, but I don't actually write. I write strictly in order, and I think I've done that with every book up until now. So my personal recommendation would be, if I had to force myself to pick one, I'd probably say write in order. Okay, and it's the same as plotting and pantsing. I am a pantser, hands up. Okay, I do. I fly by the seat of my pants. I make up a lot of stuff as I go along, but I have a rough framework. If you can, and you're capable of going down to the beats, I don't want to spend too much time on this because we covered this the other week, but if you can, obviously plot it all out and then write it in order. If you're that organised and you're that, fantastic. Okay, but at the end of the day, I don't think it really makes that much of a difference at all. It hasn't impacted the quality or even the process, really. And there's many times I might go back and add something in, or change something somewhere, and that always happens in editing anyway. So I think my only hesitation would be is does it stop you writing? That's the thing that always bothers me. There's what's the saying? If you turn up, it will come. The magic appears. I don't know the saying, but you know what I mean. If you turn up, the creative juices will pop out, and things will happen. Well, that is true. I've been writing scenes in Poland. I'm in Poland at the moment, in the novel, and I've been writing, and things are coming to me as I write. That does happen. Like I say, there can be this thing that if you get stuck, and so you back away from it. Oh, I'm just going to give up. You've written the first chapter, you can't get chapter 2. But you've got chapter 5 and 6, or you've got the end, or you've got this. So the same with plotting. It's kind of like, well, okay, at least I can start writing what I've got. If you're really struggling, because like I say, if you show up, it happens. And the most important thing, I think, above everything really, is to get words on the page, especially if you're just starting out. When it comes to experience, obviously the more you write, the more you get confident. I can rely on the invisible crutch, if it makes sense. I know that when I write, I'm an experienced novelist now. I know that when I write, something will happen. At some point, the story will come to me. It can be. It doesn't mean I don't get frustrated. Sometimes I still do. Sometimes I'm really stuck with, should I do this? Normally, is that a good idea, or that's not good enough. What can be better? But I know that if I just keep writing it and keep playing with it, it will suddenly click. And and it's like the scene at the end. Like I say, I've written the end, absolute garbage. It's just like, wouldn't show it to anybody. But when I give it a really hard edit and changed a few things and tweaked a few things and really played around with it, I'm like, it just kind of, trying to think of an analogy, it all falls into place. It's kind of, the kids' toys with the square and the circle, and all of a sudden it slots into the right hole. Right, fantastic. That's what I was looking for. So essentially, folks, it doesn't. In my mind, it doesn't really matter. Conclusion: if you can plot it all out to the last T and then write in order, do so. It'll be a lot easier to write. That's the other thing to say, is that of course it's a lot easier to follow a set path. It's fun flying by the seat of your pants, but it's also fun just sitting there dreaming up ideas. And I'm trying to do a mixture of both. I'm trying to plot more. If I could just plot it all out right down to the T, every time, and in a relatively quick time space, it would be fantastic. Because every day I just sit and I'd write, and I know what I'm writing, and that really can help you get off the blocks fast within your individual writing sessions, and that time can add up in a big way. Because like I say, I'm writing in Poland at the moment, and I said I've got the scene, fantastic. Sit down, write it. Great. Where am I going now? What am I doing now? Okay, that could happen. This could happen. If that happens, how's that time to that? You can see already that time's ticking away. And I could spend 20 minutes, half an hour, even 2 hours, or I might even shut my laptop and say, well, I've written 1,000 words. Okay, let me think about this overnight. Yeah, so you can already see that that it can impact you. So look, I hope that's wonderful, folks. I'm gonna close it up there before before I get start going around on the magic roundabout, going around in circles. I hope you're well. Christmas is coming on, saying the dreaded word, but it is a season to be jolly, and it'll be a season to be even jollier when you see some of the surprises I've got coming up for you. Anyway, stay safe, people. Stay safe. I've really got to learn how to sign off. Anyway, look after yourselves. Have a wonderful week. Cheers. Ta-ta.